Hello and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Osman. In this week's episode, local high school students go behind the scenes of our local county government. Nearly a dozen derelict vessels are being removed from the Halifax and Indian rivers. And the Ocean Center is gearing up for a busy month as March events roar into town. Later in the program, Joanne Magley sits down with Greg Akin, Chief Operating Officer for Volusia County School District. Those segments and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. I hope you stay tuned. Forty of Volusia County's brightest high school students recently learned about county government as they toured the historic courthouse in downtown DeLand and visited a Volusia County Council meeting. They were part of the Tomorrow's Leaders program sponsored by the Futures Foundation.
We have 40 high school students from all 10 high schools here in Volusia County Public Schools. They're selected for this program through an application process. We take them throughout the community on 5 full-day seminars, and this is our 4th seminar, and today is Government and Education Day.
Elections Supervisor Lisa Lewis took the students through the elections department and let them try out the county's high-tech voting machines. The students also listened to Volusia County Council members discussing a zoning issue and listened to a report on the East Central Regional Rail Trail, which is being constructed across the southern part of the county from Deltona to Edgewater. Brandon Shadid, a junior from Deltona High School, shared his thoughts about the program.
Tomorrow's Leaders has taught me a lot, and going through different seminars, I've been able to see how people operate and what they do. And I've learned how to be a better leader and work better with other people.
Since the 6-month program began in October, the students have attended seminars focusing on leadership, diversity and inclusion, economic development, manufacturing, the arts, government, and education. During each seminar, students interacted with community and business leaders who shared insights on goal setting, effective communication, time management, human behavior, and other aspects of effective leadership.
We try to give them a very broad understanding of all the things that are behind the scenes within the county, in the hopes that after they go off to college that they'll return home and become wonderful, productive citizens here in Volusia County.
For more information about Tomorrow's Leaders, you can visit futuresvolusia.org and click on Programs. The Volusia County Coastal Division has started removing a number of derelict vessels from area waterways. Ultimately, 10 derelict vessels will be removed from the Halifax and Indian rivers very soon. The vessels were classified as derelict by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. The Volusia County Council recently approved grant funding from the Fish and Wildlife Commission and Florida Inland Navigation District funds to remove the unsightly and dangerous vessels at no cost to the county.
Well, we're here just north of the Seabreeze Causeway boat ramps in downtown Daytona Beach and removing about a 30-foot cabin cruiser that's been on the riverbed here for the past 5 to 7 years. It's been a hazard to navigation, and of course it's an environmental hazard, and it's just an eyesore in downtown Daytona Beach.
Hurricane Matthew damaged dozens of boat docks and marinas along the Halifax and Indian rivers, and nearly 50 vessels were broken loose from their moorings and grounded, sunk, or washed ashore. The county is working with local, state, and federal agencies to identify and track the hurricane-impacted vessels in an effort to have the state include their removal in the state's hurricane recovery plan.
Oftentimes the owners are liveaboard owners that maybe don't have the wherewithal or financial means to maintain the vessel, and they simply sink after a period of time in a storm event or what have you, and then are illegally left behind or abandoned, and that's a shame. That shouldn't happen in our beautiful waterways. So the County Council, under their leadership, and the County Manager, Jim Deneen, decided we should pursue some grant funding from the state and remove these vessels.
To report a possible derelict vessel, you can call the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission at 1-888-404-3922. The first quarter of 2017 has been a busy couple of months at Volusia County's Ocean Center.
The first quarter of 2017 have been an active quarter for the Ocean Center, bringing in over 37,000 attendees to the county-run Ocean Convention Center in Daytona Beach. A lot of different activities for January, including 2 Florida volleyball festivals, state cheer and dance, RV show, home show, Fire Rescue East, so you can see the different events throughout the month of January. In February, we just have ended Avatar, and Avatar was here for 12 days, followed by the National Mobility Equipment Dealers Association.
According to Daniels, the Ocean Center's busiest month of this first quarter of 2017 will be in March, as the center gears up for a returning annual event and then multiple Bike Week offerings. March
1st through 4th, we have Quilt Week Daytona Beach, and last year this event brought 15,000 attendees from around the country. We have experts from the quilting industry that will be providing workshops, plus there will be a merchant mall with vendors nationally and locally.
Quilt Week Daytona Beach is open to the public. Hours of the show are 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Wednesday through Friday and 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday. Tickets are available online or at the door, and prices are $11.20 for members and $14 for non-members. For more information, you can visit AmericanQuilter.com. Bike Week action with the first full-throttle vendor showcase will be March 11th through 18th. The event is free, open to the public, and will feature more than 200 vendors at the only inside venue during Bike Week. Custom vendors at the showcase include jewelry, leather, clothing, bike builders, and more. For more information, you can visit FloridaFullThrottle.com.
We're looking at classic rock concerts March 11th and 12th. So come hear your favorite classic rock stars, featuring Mike Pinero of Iron Butterfly, Fran and Anton Cosmo, formerly of Boston, and many other classic rock stars.
For a complete listing of performers for each night, visit KDIMentertainment.com. Ticket prices start at $15 and are available at Ticketmaster.com, or you can call the Ocean Center box office. A first-time concrete clash on the coast will bring indoor concrete flat track motorcycle racing to the Ocean Center March 17th. Riders will race less than an inch apart for a pro purse exceeding $5,000. Tickets are $15 and can be purchased at Ticketmaster.com.
Visitors come out to the Ocean Center for our Bike Week events and also Quilt Week Daytona Beach. We have plenty of parking and restaurants within walking distance.
For details on these upcoming events or to check out future offerings, you can visit OceanCenter.com and click on the Events tab. Who doesn't love toys? I'll bet you do. Even though the holidays have come and gone, shopping for toys is always in season. This week on The Business Beat, we'll join Shelley Safranek as she visits a unique store in downtown DeLand that is bucking the trend when it comes to toys.
No matter how old you are, we all remember our favorite toy we had when we were growing up. Mine was the Spirograph. And in today's world, it's really easy to just run into the big box store and get the latest toy on the market. But if you want a toy that's going to be memorable and last a lifetime, check out Wiley Owl Toy Store in DeLand.
Hey, welcome to Wiley Out Toy Store. How are you?
Hi, thank you. Fine.
How can I help you today?
When Vince Phillip was growing up, he dreamed of being a firefighter. Owning a toy store wasn't on the list. Yet today, Phillip and his wife Cindy own a one-of-a-kind toy store in DeLand that is fulfilling all of their dreams. The store's name rhymes with his daughter's name, Kylie, and it reflects his wife's love of owls, hence Wiley Owl Toy Store.
Well, my wife's dream was to own a toy store for forever. And then, we talked about it on and off for the better part of 15 years. And then one day in 2014, I was tired of my job and I said, let's start it. So we started up Wiley Owl and we've been in business since then.
Initially, Wiley Owl Toy Store was on West Rich Avenue in DeLand, opening the day of the Christmas parade in December 2014. An opportunity came in 2016, though, that allowed Phillip to move the toy store to Woodland Boulevard in downtown DeLand, in the historic area. This move not only allowed Phillip to increase the size of the toy store, it quadrupled his visitors and increased revenue.
Our first year, we were thrilled. I guess our first December, of 2014, we made $10,000 and we were excited. It was like, wow, for 1 month being open, we did great. 2016 started out great for us as well. And then we had the opportunity to move into our new location in May, and our business quadrupled. It's crazy, the number of people that come in the store. We have easily 4 or 5 times as many people coming in the store. Our business numbers went up 4 or 5 times higher as well.
So what is it about Wiley Owl Toy Store that makes it so unique? In addition to being a fun place to spend time, no matter your age, it is a business seeing success in an industry that has all but become extinct. And that success is in large part due to its high-quality customer service and toys.
We want kids, families, parents, grandparents, everybody can come in and play with anything we have open. If it's not open, they can come and play with it. We'll open it for them and show them how it works. Specialty toy stores have a major point of difference, though, other than just the toys themselves. It's the fact that the people who work there know everything about every toy in the store. There's nothing worse than getting home from a store and you go to put together a toy and it's falling apart as you're putting it together. There's nothing worse than when your kid comes home and you put together that toy and they play with it for about 10 seconds because it's not what they thought it would be. We think that it's more important for the kids to be able to actually see and play and touch and feel, make sure they like it before they bring it home, because it's going to be with them for a long time. It's a wood toy. It's going to last for a very long time.
Toys at Wiley Owl are diverse. They are primarily wooden, as the store doesn't carry plastic toys. You'll also see a large offering of STEM toys, which are the ones that promote science, technology, engineering, and math. The toys are of high quality. Wooden toys can be more expensive, however, they can last for generations. And when you compare the toys and games offered at Wiley Owl to the ones you can find in other stores, they are comparable in price. And if you're not sure about how a game or toy works, you can always check it out on one of their grown-up game nights or learn to play days for children.
Tell me, what do you do on game nights?
Well, game night, we have 2 different types of game nights. One is a game day where we play with the kids, and then we have grown-up game night where you can play adult games with other adults and have a nice time.
One of the coolest aspects of Wiley Owl is that up until this year, it was the first and only place in America with a unique build-your-own Madari car station. The Madari car is produced by a company called Thoughtful Toys in California, and it is a STEM-focused toy.
Today we're going to show Shelley how to build her own Madari car. And first step is she needs to do is select one of the tools that are in one of the 8 bins that are in front of her. And then she needs to select a chassis, which is one of these. There's multiple colors that she can choose from. I wanted to open up the Madari section to kids and allow them to actually build the cars and enjoy them and understand how to build them. And I proposed it to Thoughtful Toys, and they actually said, we've been thinking about that, but we've never had anybody who wants to spearhead it. So we worked together and we put the program together. And since then, we had basically the only build-your-own in the United States, and as my son likes to point out, in the world.
And if you know kids looking for a unique place to host their birthday party, Wiley Owl Toy Store can help with that as well.
Now, what kind of a game is this?
It's a core a mug.
Is it like a puzzle? Is it a puzzle?
We actually offer about 5 different themed birthday parties, and Modari Car Parties is one of them. Basically 2-hour-long parties, and the kids can come in and build their own cars, and they get to take them home as their party favor. The kids have a great time doing it.
At the end of the day, Philip is quite happy with the business success Wiley Owl Toy Store has seen since opening in 2014. Future plans include launching a new website that includes a shopping zone. And as the toy store continues to buck the industry trend, Philip is happy he's making a difference in bucking the electronic trend by what Wiley Owl Toy Store offers.
When they come in our store, nobody plays with their phones. Nobody's on their devices. Everybody's actually looking at things, playing together, asking how things work, sitting down with us and playing or playing by themselves. Our goal is to get more and more people reacquainted to the simpler things and to enjoy each other's company as opposed to being separate from each other.
For the Business Beat, I'm Shelley Safranek.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
A successful school system is vital for communities to thrive, and there's a lot that's new with Volusia County Schools. Community Information Director Joanne Magley has more.
Thanks, Amber. Joining us today in the studio is Greg Akin, the Chief Operating Officer of Volusia County Schools. Hi, Greg.
Hi, it's nice to be here today.
Thank you for being here. So you and I have done interviews in the past, and it's been a while since we've talked. And there's a lot going on with the school system. So we wanted to bring you in today so you can give us an update. From a lot of it is from the safety point of view. So let's start off by talking about safety and security. Okay. Tell us about some of the best practices that are going on with our school system.
Yeah, currently now, there's obviously laws and rules, regulations that we have to follow. We've put together a robust safety security plan for our schools and our departments to follow from a school setting and from transportation as well. What we do with that plan is we look at an all hazards approach to emergency management. And anything that could be a vulnerability for a particular school or school district, we actually have plans put in place to help us for that first critical decision to be able to respond to any type of emergency that may come our way.
All right, so let's talk about the buses, because from the minute the kids get on the bus till they get off the bus at home, there's also a security factor there as well, and I think it's a little different between the little kids and the older kids. So give us a little perspective on that.
Sure. We've been very fortunate to have be able to include technology into our transportation system. So obviously we have camera systems on our buses currently right now. We're featuring a couple things right now, Wi-Fi, for example, and live feed. So we'll be able to look at the bus as it's rolling down the roadway. We also have one of the critical things is we want to make sure that we have a GPS system on our buses so we can track those buses where they are throughout the county. And every stop that we stop at, every child actually puts in a code to get on the bus. It gives us a time and location where the child's data. And as we get to school, they clock back out or actually code back out at the school. And it gives us a good tracking system for our buses. So if there's any type of emergency on a school bus, we'll be able to know exactly where the bus is, who's on the bus, and where that bus is actually located.
And I have a lot of better insight now into the school system because now I have a child in the school system. Yes. He's in kindergarten, and I go to visit him sometimes, and even the parent check-in is a lot different than what a lot of parents probably remember, years ago. Again, technology has come into play. So talk about how visitors
are dealt with when they come into the school.
Yeah, now we have a visitor management system that we have at all of our schools, and there's a kiosk system. So the first time you show up at one of our schools, what we do is we take your driver's license, run that driver's license through our system. What that does for us, it gives us a quick background check to make sure that the person that's there is not a predator or an offender, obviously.
Right.
And that's what it's basically for, that part of that. What it does for us as well, it gives us, we're able to pull reports on who was on campus that day, what time they were at, what location they went to. From a volunteer standpoint, if a parent volunteers, we're able to track that data more accurately. And so from our standpoint, it's more of a security measure for, we want to know who's on our campus at any given time. And we make sure that we can filter who's coming on and off of our campuses, including our vendors.
And that happens the first time that you go and you give your ID, and then next time you go, like I do, you give your name and then you're in the system, so then when they print your badge, it's a pretty quick process, but I'll tell you, I'll walk down the hall and I'm on my way to go to the cafeteria to have lunch, and sometimes I try to peek in the window in his room, just to see what he's doing, and sure enough, somebody comes and ushers me along, go to where you're supposed to be, miss, parent, and I'm like, oh, okay, sorry, but that's important, you keep the school, keep the learning going. Don't be a distraction.
All right, sure. Yeah, and that badge is critical for us as well, because we teach our students that if somebody is not badged, doesn't have either an identification badge from the school district standpoint or a badge as a visitor, that they're to report that to an administrator so we can actually find out why the person's on our campus as well.
Because I know you work closely with the fire departments and law enforcement agencies just to enhance safety.
Yeah, we do. We're blessed here in Volusia County to have a great working relationship with law enforcement. All of our cities and actually the county as well, and our fire department, first responders as well, including the Emergency Operations Center. So right now we have school resource officers and some deputies assigned at our middle and high schools, which is a great tool for us because they're able to educate our students at that setting and build a good working relationship with them on a daily basis. But anytime that there's a particular threat or something we have to deal with, they're there to help us as part of our security team.
So how do you deal with some sort of threat, whether it's just a false alarm or something real? How do you deal with those during the school year?
Yeah, when we look at emergency management and started putting together a safety and security plan, we have processes in place, which is how we're going to respond to a particular threat and all hazards approach. Whether it's Mother Nature coming through with a severe thunderstorm in the afternoon, we have what we call the code green. So we have processes that the teachers understand what they need to do with their children. Same thing with any type of threat, whether it's internal or external. Let's talk about external real quick. So let's say that there's police activity around the school setting. Law enforcement actually gives us a courtesy call and say, hey, we have this XYZ going on. Please place your school into a lockdown. So what we do at that point in time, we have all of our students and faculty shelter in place where they currently are now and make sure that there's no movement on our campus until that issue is resolved. If it's a threat, for example, on our campus where someone claims a bomb threat or something like that, we have a process in place where we do a shelter in place, do a low-level search of our campus, and ascertain whether there's a viable threat there or not. And if there is, then we have other processes in place where we could evacuate our students and get them back to their parents as soon as possible.
And again, because I have a child in the school system now, I'm aware I get a lot of alerts, and most of the alerts are upcoming events, reminders that maybe there's not a school coming up, a school day for a particular holiday. So tell us about that notification system, because you can use it for a lot more than just upcoming events.
Yeah, you can, and that's called connected message. And what it does now is we can give a voice or we can do a text. So which I think is very, very good for us from a school district standpoint. So if there's any incident that actually happens on a school bus or in the school setting, we're able to send out to the parents that are affected with that event and give them a notification on what was going on and what we're doing. And we always work with our law enforcement to investigate any particular threat or accident or anything like that to make sure that student safety is our number one priority. So the communication is critical for us to communicate with the parents to make sure we keep them aware of what's going on.
Yeah, and as a parent, I love it because I choose to get some text messages. So It's just convenient. It's great reminders of different events coming up that I might have forgot to put on my calendar, or like this morning I got the text reminding me to take a survey, and I said, oh yeah, I haven't taken that survey yet. So it's a really, really convenient way to, you know, stay in touch with the school.
You know, the whole community is critical for us. So we're only as safe as our weakest link. And so, you know, our parents are critical for us in an emergency management situation as well. So just doing those reminders through our messaging is critical to make sure they're involved in the schools, because we want every parent to be involved in their child's education so that child could be successful down the line.
I'm not sure if you can talk about this or not, but I know you were doing a pilot program with a tech company about an alert system that can allow teachers and students, and maybe this is at the high school level, if there was an emergency to do an outgoing message. Is that still a pilot program going on?
Yeah,
or?
what we're looking at, it's called First Alert. And so there's different programs that are out there currently right now, and that's part of our infrastructure redesign that we're in right now with our Hefts and sales tax. Thanks to the taxpayers, we're able to revamp our internal infrastructure and be able to provide some of those alerts here fairly quick. But right now, we still have the connected message and be able to alert our parents if there's an event that's going on.
And a little later this year, we'll have another update on that half-cent sales tax for the public, so they can learn all about how their tax dollars are being put to great use for new schools and other things like you just mentioned. Well, a lot of good information today. So Greg Akin, the COO of Volusia County Schools, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you very much for allowing me to be here today.
Amber, back to you.
Thanks, Joanne, and thank you too for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about the show, you can feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. Incidentally, you can find the County Council's meeting calendar there too. In fact, you can use volusia.org to find out about meeting dates, workshops, topics of interest, activities, and how you can become involved. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today. That's Volusia County Government's weekly public radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Osmond. Have a wonderful evening.